Boys and girls, last week I gave an examination and I would like us to revise this paper. I have selected some questions from the question paper so that we revise them. I've chosen the questions that probably you did not do in first sum, and yet they came in the examination. And these are some of the questions I've selected. I've selected question number 5, question number 6, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 23, 25, 27, 31 for now. I'll continue doing the revision until I complete the paper. Now, welcome to today's revision. Number 5 reads, the angles of a triangle are 2x minus 50 degrees, x plus 20 degrees, and 30 degrees. What is the value of the largest angle? What is the value of the largest angle? I would like to draw, please patiently observe as I draw the triangle. Let us imagine that is the triangle. That is the triangle. That is the triangle. And the angles inside that triangle are, for example, 30 degrees, 2x minus 50 degrees, x plus 20 degrees. Those are the angles in that triangle. Those are the angles in that triangle. And so as we know that angles in a triangle, sum up to 180 degrees. Angles in a triangle sum up to 180 degrees. Sum means add. When we add the angles in a triangle, we should get 180 degrees. And so to interpret this, we are going to add them. Add the angles in the triangle. The first angle in this triangle is 2x minus 50 degrees plus x plus 20 degrees plus 30 degrees. This should give us 180 degrees according to that statement. That's a rule, an angle property of a triangle. That's angle property of a triangle. That all angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And so that means if we add the value of this angle, the value of that angle, and the value of that angle, we should get 180 degrees. When we do this, we will be able to find the value of x. And so let us collect the like terms together. Collect the like terms. Like terms. Let us collect the like terms. And these are the like terms. 2x is a like term to x. So plus x. 2x plus x. Then 50, and we have that minus 50 degrees, then plus 20 degrees plus 30 degrees. This should give us 180 degrees. This should give us 180 degrees. And so coming here, carrying out the operation, 2x plus x gives us 3x. I want us to be very careful here, boys and girls. I want us to be very careful here. This number is a number with a minus. Is a number with a minus. So we call it a negative number. We call it a negative number. Considering board mass, a negative number must not come before a positive number. And so we are going to rearrange these numbers so that positive numbers, 20 degrees is a positive number, and 30 degrees is also a positive number. These two positive numbers come before 50. 50 is a negative number. Then we say it is equals to 180 degrees. It's equals to 180 degrees. Now, after doing that, we can now add and subtract. So that is going to be 3x plus 50 degrees. 20 plus 30, that is 50 degrees, minus 50 degrees, this 50 degrees, is equals to 180 degrees. I hope you have understood that 3x, that is the 3x. This 50 degrees is the sum of 20 and 30. They bring us 50 degrees. Then minus this 50 degrees should give us 180 degrees. Now, boys and girls, as you all know, a number minus itself is 0. So when we subtract 50 from 50, we get 0. So if we get 0, that one means that number and that number have cancelled one another. And so what are we left with? We are left with 3x is equals to 180 degrees. We divide both sides by 3. By 3. And this side by 3. And so 3 by 3 is 1. By 3, 1. And by 3, 60 degrees. And so the value of x is 60 degrees. X is not the answer, but we have found the value of x. After finding the value of x, boys and girls, after finding the value of x, we replace x with its value. We replace x with its value. As you all know, that is an angle that has, allow me to write here. I will wrap. There is an angle that has 2x minus 50 degrees. So in the place of x, we'll put 60 degrees because the value of x is 60 degrees. In the place of x, we'll put 60 degrees. So it is 2 times 60 degrees minus 50 degrees. So 2 times 60 degrees is 120 degrees. We subtract 50 degrees. 120 degrees minus 50 degrees, we get 70 degrees. So one angle is 70 degrees. That angle is 70 degrees. We come to this other angle. This other angle says, this other angle is x plus 20 degrees. So the place of x, we put 60. So it is 60 plus 20 degrees. Then we are going to have 80 degrees. 80 degrees. So this angle here is 80 degrees. Now, this other angle is already 30 degrees. So the three angles of that triangle measure 30 degrees, 70 degrees, and 80 degrees. Once again, the three angles of this triangle measure 30 degrees, 70 degrees, and 80 degrees. And we have been asked to find the largest angle. The largest angle of all. The largest angle of all. The largest angle here is definitely 80 degrees when you compare with the other angles. The largest angle there is 80 degrees. I hope you have understood. Please play it again and again, and you'll be able to understand the calculations thereof. Let us go to the next question. Let us go to the next question. Allow me to wrap this and this one. Wrap this neatly. Remember, you have to work out neatly. We don't like dirty work. Work out neatly so that even if you mess up, you can go again follow the method again. Let's come to question number 6. What is the perimeter of the figure drawn below? This is the figure that is drawn below. I would like us to look at this figure and you compare it to football, a running pitch, a running track. It's a running track. It's a running track. So the perimeter of the running track. Now, what is perimeter? Perimeter is the distance all round a given shape, like this one. A distance all round that given shape is its perimeter. So that means we add the lengths outside. We add 110 and to this 110. This side is also 110. Okay? We don't know the measure of this side. We don't know the measure of that side. And we don't know the measure of that side. And so we must find the measure of that side. Remember, that is a circular distance. And the circular distance is called circumference. And so here, circumference here is half. So we have half of the circumference, that is pi multiplied by diameter. Half multiplied by diameter, that is here. And also this side is half multiplied by pi d. Half multiplied by pi d. So if you find half multiplied by pi d, we will have found the measure of this side and that side. And so let's do it. So circumference here would be half times pi, times pi d. So that would be a half times pi 22 over 7. Diameter is 56 meters. That one is the diameter of the semicircle. Then by 7, 1, by 7, 8, by 2, 1, and by 2, 11. Right? So the answer here would be 88 meters. So having found the size of this curve here, 88 meters, and it is the same as that side, the two sides are equal, so this side is also 88 meters. You don't need to calculate again. When we find this one side, it is the same as the other side. Now we find perimeter. Having all the sides, now we can find perimeter. Now here, perimeter would be 101 plus 101. Then plus 88 plus 88. You realize that we have not added 56 because 56 is a dotted line. Dotted lines are not added when we are finding perimeter. Dotted lines are not added when you are finding perimeter. Or internal lengths are not added when we are finding perimeter of a shape. We only add the external lengths. So 101 plus 101, that gives us 202. 88 plus 88. 88 plus 88. 16 carry 1. 176. 176. When we add 176 to 202, we will get 378. That would be 378 meters. That is the perimeter. That is the perimeter of that figure. Remember again, perimeter is the distance all round a given shape. So the distance from here going round this shape and back to where you started, that is its perimeter. That's why we have added. Thank you. We go to question number 8. Question number 8 says 4 over 7. 4 over 7, also known as 4/7 of a pole, measures 8 meters. 4 over 7 of a pole measures 8 meters. What is the length of 10 such poles? 10 such poles. So we must calculate the measure of one pole first. So if 4 over 7 is equals to 8 meters, therefore 1 would be 1 whole, yeah, times 8 divided by 4 over 7. So that is like cross multiplication. So that brings us to 8 times 1 is 8 divided by 4 over 7 divided by 4 over 7. Yes? We bring this sum here. It will be 8 over 1. We change the sign. Times 7 over 4. The reciprocal of 4 over 7 is 7 over 4. And so we cancel by 4, 1 and by 4, 2. By 4, 1 and by 4, 2. And so 2 times 7 gives us 14 meters. So one pole measures 14 meters. So we say if one pole measures 14 meters, what about 10 poles? We cross multiply. It will be 10 multiplied by 14 over 1 meters. So the answer gives us 140 meters. 10 such poles would measure 140 meters. 10 such poles would measure 140 meters. Question number 9. What is the area of the figure below? This is the figure. The area of the figure below. We must first of all identify the shape. We must identify the shape. And the shape here is a triangle. The shape here is a triangle. So area of a triangle is denoted by a half times base times height. A half times base times height. So area here is equal to a half. What is the base? The base is 60 centimeters. And what is the height? Is 20 centimeters. Boys and girls, how do we identify the base and the height? The base and the height meet at a right angle. The base and the height meet at a right angle. In other language, we say they are perpendicular to one another. The base and the height are perpendicular to one another. So this 80 centimeters is called a diagonal. So it's not a height and it's not a base. It's just put there to distract or confuse you. And so we calculate. By 2, 1, and by 2, 30. So area here would be 30 times 20, and that gives us 600 square centimeters. 600 square centimeters. 600 square centimeters. I hope you have understood. Let us go to question number 10. Question number 10, boys and girls. What is the square root of 6.25? The square root of 6.25. 6.25 is a decimal. And the square root is written that way. 6.25. 6.25. We express the decimal as a fraction. So we find the square root of 625 over 100. So that we can find the square root of 625 alone and the square root of 100 alone. And what is the square root of 625? What is the square root of 625? The square root of 625 is 25. And the square root of 100 is 10. That's where we are. Now, it is 25 over 10. The answer must be in decimal. And so, that 0 brings a decimal there. And the answer becomes 2.5. That is the square root of 625. You can see the steps that we have followed. Please follow these steps when you're finding the square root. of a decimal. Now let's come to question number 14. Question number 14 says, what is the capacity of the figure below in liters? Capacity. Remember, capacity. Capacity is measured in liters. Now, capacity is related to volume. But we cannot calculate capacity directly. We must calculate it as volume. Then we can convert the units to capacity. And so we want to ask ourselves, how do we find the volume? Now, volume of a cuboid is denoted by length times width times height. Volume is denoted by length times width times height. I hope you are enjoying the lesson. And so the length here is 80 centimeters, the width here is 20 centimeters, and the height here is 50 centimeters. And so when you multiply the three, we will get the volume. What is 80 times 20? 80 times 20 is 1,600. 1,600. Then you multiply it finally by 50. 1,600 multiplied by 50. We get 3 zeros. 3 zeros, boys and girls. 5 times 6, we get 30. Carry 1. Carry 3. Carry 3. We carry 3. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 3 is 8. So this is 80,000 cubic centimeters. 80,000 cubic centimeters. We want our answer in liters. We want our answer in liters because it's capacity. Remember, cubic centimeters are volume, are units of volume. They are units of volume. But capacity is measured in liters, milliliters, deciliters, and decaliters that way. And so we want to convert 80,000 cubic centimeters into liters. We ask ourselves, how many cubic centimeters make 1 liter? And the answer is, if 1,000 cubic centimeters are equivalent to 1 liter, what about 80,000 cubic centimeters? That will be 80,000 cubic centimeters times 1 all over 1,000. All over 1,000. And now we have that. We can cancel. This is liters. 0 goes with 0. The other 0 with the other 0. The other 0 with the other 0. We remain with 80 liters. So the capacity of that cuboid is 80 liters. The capacity of that cuboid is 80 liters. Did you understand? I hope you did. We will continue with the rest of mathematics tomorrow. Allow me now to bring science. Thank you.